Hello everyone and happy Wednesday. I hope you're all doing well out there today. So I actually am bad at planning ahead. I had no idea what I was going to talk about today, and then an idea came to me. This is supposed to be a channel about my writing. This is supposed to be a channel about like the work that I've been doing and the stuff that I write, but I haven't really spent a lot of time talking about that, so that's what I'm going to do today. So as I have mentioned before, I wrote my first book at the end of 2017 in November for NaNoWriMo, and it's a book that I've been working on for like 7 years, Lullaby of the Lilitu. And while that has been sitting aside for editing, I started rewriting the second draft already, but then I put it down for a bit so that I could focus on my second novel, which is Diva of the Damned. So Lullaby of the Lilitu I've gone through different like titles for the genre, but right now I'm calling it an urban supernatural thriller. Hopefully that works. Maybe it's a dark something. I don't know what I said last time, but right now I'm calling it an urban supernatural thriller, and it is about these beings known as Lilitu that are very vampiric in their nature, but I kind of changed around what we know about vampires, what we know about vampire history, and what we've seen in most vampire literature is that they're specifically undead, and that they are anybody could be a vampire. I've kind of narrowed that down and put stricter rules on how they exist, and because of this they've come up in the world essentially as gods. Book 2 is Diva of the Damned. That is the title that I have for the moment, but I did realize that I have of the in both of those titles, and my brain is just like, you have to fix that, you can't do that. So it might change, but it is not supernatural. I'm not sure exactly what to call it at the moment, like what genre it fits under. I think when I get further into it or even finish the first draft, I'll have a better idea. I am only about 8,000 words in the first draft, so it's not very far. I definitely expect it to be a lot further by now, but life does what life does. So that is about human people, but it is about a young woman who meets a very rich woman named Diva, and Diva seems to want to help this young woman out of her hard life. The young woman, Marissa is her name. Just say her name. Marissa, her father does not like or trust Diva. He doesn't think that Diva actually has Marissa's best interests in mind. Diva feels that James, Marissa's father, he's a mess, and that he doesn't really deserve to have a daughter with Marissa's potential as Diva sees it. So she is kind of his antagonist more than she is Marissa's. But secrets come out from both ends, and Marissa has to eventually learn who she's going to trust and whose side she's going to stick on. Is she going to stay with her family, her blood family, or is she going to choose to be a part of Diva's family? And what's going to happen based on either choice? What are the consequences of those choices? So those are the two books that I am currently working on at the moment. I just recently released, and a couple of videos ago I mentioned it, but I just recently released my poetry collection. It is called Vladimir Songs of My Soul. Did not know there was a timer on. There was pasta to be made. Where was I? Vladimir. It came out, I think in May. It was made available at the beginning of this month. So you guys can go buy that on Amazon right now. There's a link in the description. On top of poetry that I write generally for myself, this book was more of a spirit releasing type of thing, something that just had to happen, and less of a fun passion project. I mean, it was fun, but it was less of what Lullaby of the Lilitu has been or what Diva is becoming. So it's something that I needed to get out of myself, and I needed to share. And if you would like to participate in that sharing and read it, The link again is in the description. On top of poetry, I do write a regular blog. I write it every other week. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with that style or if I'm going to change things up in the future, but at the moment I'm just writing it every other week, and you can find that link also in the description. It is a nonfiction pagan blog, so I typically write about various pagan subjects and about my organization Maiden's Circle, which is a teaching coven. That is the plan. It will have a teaching academy that is, or a course that is going to be coming hopefully by the end of this year. I've been working on it for a while, so we'll see. I'll update you more on that if you are interested, if you are a pagan practitioner specifically leaning towards Wiccan and other eclectic pagan practices and new age things, then that might be for you. I also write short stories. So my newsletter that I send out, which is also again linked in the description, I used to send out short stories with that. So I'm changing that up in this most recent one because I would like to kind of drive more traffic towards Patreon. I do, as you can tell, do a lot. So on top of the writing, I am also doing tarot videos every week, and these are I'm now switching to a daily tarot kind of situation, and I do this video every week, and I'm doing the writing and trying to do the academy, and I love all of the stuff that I do, but it also means that there's a lot of energy going into this, and in order for me to justify all of the work that I'm doing, I would like to send people to Patreon to actually kind of help me supplement that work, because at the moment I do work part-time. I am a nanny and I work at a children's teaching kind of place where we teach kids to play games, and I love my jobs, but both are part-time, and they give me the freedom and the ability to pursue this life and pursue this these creative endeavors, pursue what's inside of me, what's calling out to me. And it's 2018, so why not get paid for that? Why not be able to support myself by creating things that not only I love, but other people can love, creating things that hopefully can touch and affect other people in different ways. I know that's kind of a lofty goal for any writer to have, but that is what ultimately I think we all want, is to be able to affect another person with our words and to be able to touch people with our words. And I want to do that. I've always wanted to do that, and I've also always been able to do that to some extent, whether that was in school or creative writing clubs or classes or with friends. I do think that my writing is something that should get out there, and I do think that it is worth putting the time and the energy into. So that is what I'm doing. And if you guys want to know more about all of this stuff that I'm doing, I probably have forgotten to mention something, I'm sure. But if you want to know more, there are all the links in the description, including my website, including my Patreon, including my newsletter. Everything that you could ever need to find me is down there. Come find me on Facebook. Come say hi. I love talking to people on Facebook. I love being in writing groups, so if you're in any of those groups, please give me a shout out. And yeah, that's about it. That is all of the updates that I have for you today on the work that I've been doing. Like I said, Diva is about almost 8,000 words in, and Lullaby of the Lilitu is into its second draft. Voix de Mancour is already out, so keep a lookout on those things. I do have some other projects that I've been working on that I'm not divulging just at the moment, but you will hear about those in the future. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you like this video, click the button below, subscribe, follow me on everything, and remember always that I love you. Bye!